If there are three things you want to talk about when it comes to live selling, the selling part, the sales part, the part where you actually make money is actually the third most important thing. Communities love to leave reviews.
Good or bad.
It's one of the nicest things. Yeah, it's one of the nicest things you could do. But I mean, listen, our Point Crew channel, I mean, I believe it has all 5-star reviews.
A live buys podcast.
Seller stories.
That's going to be my thing. You know that, right?
Beard will be more groomed next time. Maybe a haircut.
Is that what we're doing? Personal attacks? That's where we're at right now?
Joe.
Hey, Chad.
This is the inaugural Seller Stories podcast.
So excited.
It's really fantastic. There's been a lot of planning. There's been a lot of ideation. And here we are, sitting at this beautiful wooded table with a TV that has the Seller Story logo on it that Brandy created in Korea.
That's pretty nice. I haven't seen that
with
yet.
With the nano banana AI things. We're going to talk about some AI things.
I like it. Almost looks like Bill Maher's podcast.
Is it a Bill Maher situation?
Bill Maher's got like a neon kind of thing.
I like the
on.
neon light.
Yeah.
I think we can animate it and like make it flash. Like bzz, 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 bzz,
like it needs to be recharged with neon.
It's like when you go to like when you see like a
CD
club.
strip club.
Yeah, and it's like the one letter is out. Yeah, which letter do you think should be the one that blinks? Maybe the O. Oh.
How far off of our talking points are we so far? It's 5 seconds in. We haven't done anything that we're supposed to do.
I mean, that's kind of how we're gonna roll with this.
Right.
I mean, this is nice. A nice.
So you don't want to be like, most people think live selling is about products. It's not. How's that? Now let me look at that camera.
Correct.
Most people think live selling is about products. It's not.
Frame live selling as a human behavior shift, not a trend.
I like it.
So anyway, this is it. This is our spot.
So what are we, Chad?
What?
Chad, if I do that, it just means that I didn't think the soundbite was good, so we should do it over. All right? So just roll with me here. Chad.
Joe.
Maybe we should talk about live buys a little bit, kind of introduce everyone that's watching and listening to live buys.
You know, it should say on there, like, Seller Stories, a live buys podcast.
Ooh, a live buys podcast.
Seller Stories.
That's going to be my thing. You know that, right?
Brought to you.
So when anything cool happens.
By live buys. Seller Stories.
There you go.
Brought to you by live buys. Aren't you? It's compelling. I'm enthralled.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's live buys?
What's live buys?
Is that the question of the hour?
We should introduce live buys to all the people.
Live buys is a company that currently has 2 Whatnot Premier shops operating within the confines of the live buys studios.
Indeed.
We have logged thousands of hours on the air, and that includes you. You have logged hours.
I have logged hours.
I have logged hours. We have many other hosts and producers
who have also logged hours.
Who've logged hours.
Yeah.
We have a shipping department, ship all the things that the people sell.
Yeah.
That we sell.
Yeah, we sure do.
We provide customer service.
Yeah.
And we are all about ingenuity, and we're about efficiency, and we love incorporating AI into the business as much as we can. Although, and this would be a great topic to maybe riff on for a little while, is the whole AI live selling host thing.
Yeah.
I think, well, we're not there yet, but we are not even looking at AI hosts like replacing our human hosts.
So at a very macro level, Live Buys is a company that hosts and produces live selling channels.
And we post content out there that helps people that want to learn about live selling or want to take their live selling to the next level up a notch.
Which is what we're doing here.
That's what we're going to do here.
That's what Seller Stories is all about.
Yeah. So like if you guys watch this and you like do the comment and subscribe and like our stuff thing, and you ask a question in the comments, wherever you're seeing this, then we can like take that and then we can answer your question like the next time we do this. So
Yeah.
that'll be fun.
So as the listener / watcher,
Viewer,
the viewer, if you will,
subscriber, live buys community enthusiast.
what can you expect to get out of this podcast?
I mean, I think they are hoping that your beard will be more groomed next time. Maybe a haircut.
Is that what we're doing? Personal attacks?
I think-
That's where we're at right now?
I
It's
mean, that's
just
what.
the seller stories where Chad personally attacks Joe.
Yes.
That's what we're doing?
And it's you could fire back.
All right, Dandruff boy.
Damn, oh my gosh! First of all, how can I hardly have hair.
Okay. Well, maybe it's from your beard because you got a bunch of flakes on
Oh
you. And
my
I was
God,
going
I'm
to tell you.
flaking out.
I was going to tell you in
What?
a nice way, but then you were a jerk. So I said, hey,
We'll
let him go.
we have the roller thing that is like the lint
Well,
brush.
maybe you should keep it in your pocket.
I
Is this what we were hoping for
Yes,
the podcast?
This is what I'm hoping for.
All right.
This is exactly. I can't wait until we have a real life guest here with us
Yeah.
to see, because they're gonna feel like a third wheel at points. I think
Well.
that'll be interesting.
But anyway, what can the viewers expect from the podcast other than ridiculous banter between you and I? Which
I mean, I
some
hope.
people like, some people might not.
Well, here's what I know for sure. There will be moments where we actually talk about applicable things that people can do to grow their whatnot accounts, to grow their TikTok accounts, to figure out what it is they should be selling, to level up their production quality when it comes to how their show looks to others. And really, the one thing I wanted to make sure we touch on today is that live selling, live social shopping, community commerce, whatever the heck you want to call it. If there are three things you want to talk about when it comes to live selling, the selling part, the sales part, the part where you actually make money is actually the third most important thing. And everyone thinks, oh, live selling, I got to get my inventory and I got to sell it and I got to make sure I'm making a profit and I got to do all that stuff. And they get consumed with that. And I'm here to tell you that you could even go live with nothing. Today, you have nothing to sell. You just have an idea of something you want to sell. And if you're entertaining and build a community, you start there, then introduce something to sell, you'll have more success than someone that starts off hoping to sell $1,000 worth of stuff, $5,000 worth of stuff, $500 worth of stuff today.
Which is really the beauty and the differentiator between live selling and all the other e-commerce that's been happening for the last 30 years.
100%. If you're buying a product and you want to set up a Shopify store, if you want to go sell your stuff on eBay or Poshmark or Etsy or whatever, it's all about how your product, your physical product, is going to be presented on those platforms. Live selling is a completely different animal because it's not about how the product is presented. It's about how you are presented.
Yeah, and it
And it really makes it hard when you have to co-host with Joe and you have to do everything you can to make him look good.
So we're back to this again. Okay. I see. Say something compelling, then rip on Joe. That's what we're doing. Is that what it has on here? It says
That's what I said.
compelling information, rip on Joe.
That's what
Compelling
Brandy.
information, rip on Joe.
That's what Brandy did in
Thanks,
her
Brandy.
research.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Brandy, by the way, executive producer extraordinaire. We call her executive producer.
Of Seller Stories.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's the person.
Congratulations on
When
your
you
position.
email us at
sellerstories@livebuys.com.
or we own the Seller Stories domain name, so you could actually email us at Brandy at sellerstories.com.
Producer at sellerstories.com.
Producer at sellerstories.com. Info at sellerstories.com. It will just come right to our inbox anyway.
So going back to what differentiates live selling from any other form of e-com over the last 30 years.
Let's do it.
So we talked briefly. You were talking briefly about presenting yourself. And
Yeah.
what that really does for you is it allows you to, as long as you're honest and trustworthy, and that all comes across, and it has to be genuine, which we all know. But as long as you're doing all that, think about how much quicker you can establish that trust in your brand versus an e-com picture where now you've got to beg people to put reviews on so that your reviews can line up so that people can go and see, and then your trust is built over how many months or years potentially. This allows you to do it immediately. Now, obviously, you have to back it up with shipping the stuff out on time and making sure it's accurate and making sure they're getting what you're telling them they're going to get. But at the end of the day, if you do all those things, which most people are honest and will, it allows you to really supercharge the amount of time it takes to build up that trust in your brand from the public.
It's huge. It's huge. And the nice thing about especially Whatnot is you spoke about reviews. The communities love to leave reviews.
Good or bad.
It's one of the nicest things. Yeah, it's one of the nicest things you could do. But I mean, listen, our Coin Crew channel, I mean, I believe it has all 5-star reviews, nearly 1,000 reviews, all 5-star reviews, right? In a relatively short period of time. We're talking an account that has nearly 12,000 followers, nearly 1,000 reviews, 7,000 items sold.
Oh, 6, 7.
Yeah. See what I did there?
It's fun.
Yeah, 7,000. And, has a kick-ass community, incredible engagement, entertaining hosts. Like, it's the model. I believe what we're building is the model for what the future channels that we bring online should point back to. And there are a couple of things that I want to highlight on why I think that channel and the Sports Cards channel are excelling. And you talked about trust. So how can you make a brand new viewer gain trust in you from the first time they come onto your channel, right? Let's talk about that, because I believe, and it's the reason we've kind of set up our studios this way, is that when you can see the person's face, you immediately build trust with the audience. Why? Because that person that makes a purchase on your channel, and in the beginning, it's going to be the first time they've seen you, the first time they're making a purchase from you. How do they know they're not getting scammed? How do they know you're actually going to send this stuff? Well, if you, as the seller, are confident enough to put yourself out there, to show your face, to engage with people, etc., well, that usually will give them enough confidence where they're going to believe what they bought you're going to send. You're putting yourself out there. You're saying, here I am, look at me. Like, I got this. That level of confidence when you go live is very important. And I know you're going to get a lot of people that say you can just flip on your camera, you could stand behind it, you could talk, you don't even have to show your face. And all of that is true. And that absolutely will allow more people to go live that are self-conscious about what they look like, don't have enough confidence in front of a camera. Yes, those people are not going to want to put themselves in front of the camera first. But I will tell you, in the long run, I believe that those people it will be harder for those people to gain a bigger following as quickly as someone that will put themselves out there and put themselves on screen first. What do you think?
Yes, I think that 100% having your face on screen makes a huge difference. And I think for a number of different reasons. Everything that you just mentioned, as well as from a strictly, metaphysical human memory standpoint, you remember people's faces as opposed to just a random background.
That's a great point. And which means the second or third or fourth time you come across that person's channel, you're now memorable, right? For whatever reason. Oh, I remember the person with the blue hair. Oh, I remember that they always wear a funny shirt.
Right.
Whatever the thing is.
Right. How does everyone remember Carrot Top?
Right.
Because his name's Carrot Top because he has an orange hair.
Yeah.
Right? He did that for a reason.
And crazy props.
Branding. Right. So, yeah, you could figure out how you want to brand yourself for sure. Now, we don't do any of that branding stuff for Coin Crew. We're not wearing crazy stuff. We're not, there's nothing gimmicky.
It's just personalities.
But you can use gimmicky type stuff. I think I've told you this story before, but I had a mentor when I was doing sales, decades ago.
Back in my non-live selling days.
Who always wore a pink shirt.
When I had a mentor who wore a pink shirt.
And he wore the pink shirt to be memorable. Because at that point in time,
he was a poor salesman.
30 years ago.
And he said, I need a pink shirt.
There weren't a bunch of men wearing pink shirts.
He was a trailblazer.
So he wore a pink shirt. And he told me that. He wore a pink shirt every time he was going to go to a meeting.
He was pink shirt guy.
so that they would remember the pink shirt guy.
You know who Marlins Man is?
Marlins man?
Yeah.
No, but I'd assume he's probably like the Eagles guy who like dresses up with all the pads and everything and made himself known and now has like, sponsorships on him and stuff.
Well, he doesn't have sponsorships, but he is a guy that dresses in the orange Marlins jersey
Okay.
and wears an orange visor and then buys tickets to all the high-profile baseball games and sits like right behind home plate so you could see him.
Yeah.
But he'll do it anywhere. So he's Marlins Man.
But
From Miami.
But he goes to all the different
But
games.
yeah, especially in the playoffs, he travels all around. So he's like he became that person like on social media as like even though he's like an attorney,
Yeah.
he just does that for fun.
Yeah.
But he is
But
now
it's-
identifiable. To your point, he made himself identifiable just like Pink Shirt Businessman did.
It's also a great way. I mean, this is getting a little bit off topic, but whatever. It's kind of a great way. Like, he's an attorney, right?
Yep.
So you would assume that he's got a pretty large tax burden, right, as an attorney. So now you create a business that allows you to travel around the country and sit behind home plate to watch games, right? So now he has created a business
Yeah.
that allows him to do the stuff that he loves to do and write all those expenses off because he's got a business around it.
Speaking of doing stuff that you love to do,
That was my segue. You
Oh.
got it.
man, you just teed that up.
That's it. And
I
then
just went.
it was like just a softball.
It's like it was
right
meant
down
to
the
be.
middle.
It's like it was right on this script. I mean, it's just like that, right, Brandy? Yes. Let's talk about what you should sell. Like if you don't know what to sell, I'm new. I'm hearing about live selling, live commerce, community commerce, social shopping, whatever label you want to put on it. And you're like, all right, cool. Like I'm in. I don't know what to sell. What should I sell? How do I start? What's your take on that? Where should people start?
I mean, I could talk about what we did.
All right, what did we do, Joe?
Well, the first thing we did was we said, all right, well, we agreed, right? You came up with the idea of like, hey, this live selling thing, I think there's something to it. Maybe we should do something with this. And we talked about it for a little bit, and then we said, all right, well, let's just see what it's like. So we created a channel, literally in my basement, created a channel. Without my wife's knowledge, we just decided to sell a bunch of stuff from her closet. So our first show was what was it called? Emptying wifey's closet or selling wifey's stuff?
Yeah.
Selling wifey's stuff. Literally just grabbed a bunch of stuff from her closet and started selling
It was awesome.
just to see how it worked. So, people are nervous about getting started. People think if I don't have all my ducks in a row and if I haven't researched the living crap out of this and got all my I's dotted and my T's crossed that I shouldn't go live, to hell with all that. Just go. Just do something. Just get started. Grab some crap around your house. Go into your garage. Go into your basement. Go find the crap that you got for your wedding that's still sitting in a box from 20 years ago.
Legit.
Like literally anything. And just go on and try to sell it and see what happens. That's what we did. We had a ton of fun doing it.
And learned a lot.
Learned a lot. We screwed up the giveys and stuff and had to, do stuff manually that we could have done digitally, but we learned. And by the way, from all that learning and all that trial and error, we've gotten to where we are today. And all that trial and error is what we're going to be sharing with you guys in this podcast.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, there are going to be way more resources out there today than even there were 6 months ago.
Yeah, well, it's like almost 9 months ago now, right?
Okay, 9 months ago.
Yeah,
But
we're getting there.
a lot more or many more resources. And the more you watch this, the more you look at the other clips and just even search YouTube for other videos. And there's more and more people talking about this stuff every day because people are having success with it. The easier it's going to be for you. Now, I will say this. You can absolutely get into a spot where you are consuming content, right? Like you're watching this right now, you're consuming content. There absolutely needs to be a place where you're like, all right, I've consumed enough. Now I'm ready to take action. And here are the steps I'm going to take to actually put the wheels in motion so I can go live, start selling things, start entertaining, start building a community, start generating revenue, start hiring people, and make this, whether it's your side hustle or your supplemental income that you rely on or your primary income. And what we're doing here is not only making it primary income, but we're making it enterprise primary income. So it's income that, that supports, a company.
Yeah, a dozen employees.
Many companies, including Brandy.
A dozen team members. A dozen team members.
And so now,
like I said that a few different ways.
Yeah. And I'll also say this, because I think some people hear, oh, I don't want to start a company. I just want to sell stuff.
Yeah, just want to do stuff on the side.
Just want to do stuff on the side, which is awesome, because I think that's 99% of the people, right? They have a job, they're comfortable, they maybe want to make some extra cash or trying to figure out how. They don't want to Uber or DoorDash. They want to do it from their spare bedroom or their basement or their laundry room or their kitchen, whatever. You're going to learn things here that will enable you to do that. And then there are the people that say, I want to do this, but I don't want to have one channel. I want to have 5 channels. And how do you do that quickly? And what I'll say right now is that I believe, and this is just an overall business company thing, this really has nothing to do with live selling, but the companies that start today, you are one person, you're going to start a company, you want to hire people, you want to outsource some of the tasks that you don't want to work on because you want to focus on the revenue side, right? And you want to hire people to do shipping, you want to hire people to do social media, you want to hire people to do customer service, etc. It is going to be easier to do that now and automate things with AI and bots, etc., than it is for a company that has 500 employees plus to then back into that automation, because it likely means there's going to be some rifts when it comes to their workforce, where if you're a new company starting up and you're starting with that in mind, of course you're going to hire humans, but you're going to hire humans that are already embracing these new technologies that are out there, and that's what you're going to want. I mean, especially when it comes to creating your show thumbnails, creating your music that's going to be on your show, analyzing all your statistics. Like, you're going to want the best tools out there, and those are the things that we're going to talk about, in future episodes.
The one thing that has surprised me more than anything else has been the acceptance from the live selling community. Not just sellers, but also buyers. When we went live that first time from my basement selling my wife's clothes from her closet, do you remember when we were running into all sorts of technical difficulties? We had people in the chat watching us that walked us through everything. They weren't saying, oh, these guys suck, I'm going to a different channel. They saw it as an opportunity to help somebody, and they did. And we get the same thing from our buyers. The buyers that are in our channel, it's just that has surprised me more than anything else, has been the acceptance of the community overall. If you're honest and authentic, and we talk about authenticity all the time, because you can try to produce a show that is inauthentic, putting together different pieces of a puzzle that you think should be put together, it's not going to feel as authentic, and therefore, in my opinion, won't be as successful as if you are just purely authentic, going on there, having a good time, selling an honest product that, people want or need or can use. But definitely that's been the biggest surprise, and it's a huge positive surprise.
Yeah, and you're right on, and I think not only has it been a surprise, but it now becomes part of what we talk about internally
Yep.
a lot. And when it comes to launching the next channel, it's something that you have to think about and map out ahead of time. It's like, okay, there's this community that already exists. We're now going to pop up as like another voice in this community. How are we going to integrate in? And every community has like different types of people in it. And it's like, all right, well, who do we want to identify with the most? Like within this community, who are the people that are in that community that we want to talk to? Do we want to attract the people that have been in the community for decades, right? The OGs? Or do we want to attract the people that have been in for a year or less, like the new people into the community? And we're seeing this in the coin space where, and the only reason we even figure this out is because you asked the question, right? So one of the things we'll get into is like engagement, right? The algorithms like engagement. So how do you keep engagement up, right? And this is something that we learned just by doing. And one of the things that we learned about our coin crew community is we asked them how many people are new into coins. And by new, it's like a year under. Put me in the chat. And you just see like all these people saying me. And we embrace that because like Joe and I are actually new into the coin community as well. Even though we're sellers, we're new. And it's my dad who is the expert.
Yoda.
So yeah, exactly. The coin Yoda. So he can relate to all the OGs. And then you have people like me and Joe and my brother who can communicate to all the new people. And the community is comprised of all of those folks because they're looking at our hosts like, oh, identify more with this or identify more with them. And it's really fantastic. And the nice part is everyone supports each other. So one of the things we've learned in our chat is when we get asked a question about something that we don't know the answer to, we know someone in the chat.
Yeah. So go ahead, chat.
Yeah, go ahead, chat. Answer the
happened
question
this morning.
Yeah, go ahead, chat. Help someone out.
Yeah.
Right. If someone needs help, go help them out.
Yeah.
And they do. And it's beautiful to see. And I think, especially with that community, like I don't know how many other channels are leaning on their community quite the way, and I don't even want to say leaning on, but I would just say it's almost like we're in this together.
Yeah, and just like any other relationship, right? We have a one-to-many relationship with our audience.
Right.
Right?
Well, all live sellers would, right?
But just like any other relationship, you have to work at it. So how do we work at it? We make it a point to be welcoming. We make it a point to where if there's negative things happening in the chat, which doesn't happen very often, but when it does, we call it out. But we don't call it out in a negative way. Even if somebody comes in to be, Mr. Negative, Mr. or Mrs. Negative, and says negative things, we will make sure we stop chat from jumping on them. Because the last thing we want to do is make people feel like, okay, this is a closed group. This is a cult. We want to stay away from this cult. You don't want that either. You want to make sure you're welcoming to everybody. And the best way to do that is to make it known. You have to work at that. And you have to make sure people are aware of it.
Yeah,
They're not
and
just
talk
gonna,
about it.
And talk about it. We want everybody to be able to be here. When we're live, almost every time we have someone that timidly asks a question, and then we answer it, and they're surprised. And they say, I can't believe you answered my question. Thank you so much. And that amazes us because that's just what we've done from the beginning because that's who we are. But a lot of other sellers, that they don't want to be bothered by it. They want to move on. They don't want those people that don't know what they're doing in their channel.
And they'll ban.
Some of them even ban for asking a question about, for the coin crew, for instance. Why did that American Silver Eagle, ASE, go for 125 when silver's at 95? Well, it's because there's value above and beyond the melt of it, but it's an okay question for somebody to ask. And we answer it, honestly. If that same question is asked on other channels, those people get banned.
Right. Because they're worried about their next auction not going for as much high instead of taking the time to explain.
Which builds your community and builds the trust. And it's just like any other relationship.
Yeah.
You have to be respectful of people and welcoming.
Yeah, so all goes into community engagement, and you want to encourage the conversation. You want to make sure you're reading the comments, or at least have someone that is. Especially on Whatnot, there are several channels that have mods. You'll see like there's a mod in the chat. We've gone to this host/co-host model, where one person is kind of reading the chat, other person is kind of running the auctions, but there's banter between the chat and the co-hosts together. And that triangle of communication is part of the magic that makes the show watchable, memorable, and gets people to bookmark your upcoming shows.
The triangle of communication.
The communication triad.
Whoa.
Now where there's going to be an
Sounds
awesome
fancy.
logo that you're going to see on the screen, the
Oh.
communication triad.
Oh. Who are the three communication triad things?
Well, it would be the host,
The host,
the chat,
and then the co-host.
and then either the co-host or mod.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Now, can you be the host and the mod? Can you play both roles? You can, but it's not going to be as effective of you having someone else in there.
It gets tough.
Because you really want to have someone that's engaging with the chat 100% of the time. And if you're the host and you're selling, you're not going to be able to do that. And I'm talking about 201, 301 level stuff right now. I know as the one-man show, one-person show, you may not be able to do all of that, and I understand that, and it's going to be hard to see all the comments as you're selling the tchotchke. But you should be able to pull someone in, a friend or family member, that can be that person for you, especially once you start to get traction and you have 20, 30 plus people in your room. Once you have 30 people in your room steady, even 20 people in your room steady, you're going to want to engage with them. The one thing everyone here really should remember is that the sweetest thing a person can hear is the sound of their own name. And when you're in these live selling rooms, their name is their username, right? They chose that. So when a host reads that username, that is music to their ears. So the more you can say usernames, the more you can acknowledge someone that just purchased or someone that won a giveaway, the stickier your room becomes. And the stickier your room becomes, the more it will attract others to stick. Now let's just talk about the idea of selling, right? Because
Live selling or just selling in general?
selling in general,
Okay.
right? Because, there can be a negative connotation associated with salespeople.
Right. It's like the old, sell me this pen.
Yeah, sell me this pen, the sleazy car salesman, the insurance salesman,
Snake oil salesman.
snake oil salesman. And I think what everyone needs to understand about live selling is that it's not new. The platforms are new, but live selling isn't a new phenomenon.
Yeah. Just ask George Foreman
Okay.
and his 12 George sons and their $100 million enterprise.
Why don't you ask the guy that stood on a milk crate selling newspapers? Why don't you ask the guy that went door to door selling milk? Why don't you ask anyone that works at a department store trying to sell you makeup?
That is a little different, though, because that's still one-to-one. This is one-to-many.
But it's live selling.
Yeah.
It's live selling.
That's one-to-many live selling.
There's one-to-one live selling. There's one-to-many live selling. Turn on QVC. What are they doing?
Yeah, it's one-to-many.
It's one-to-many live selling.
Yeah.
Any infomercial you've ever watched, to your point about George Foreman. My guy, in fact, where's George?
You got George over there?
George.
Oh, yeah.
Are we good? We see George?
That was in Vegas.
Yeah, me and George. So live selling isn't like a new thing. The platforms are new. The barrier to entry has been demolished. There is no more barrier to entry. But being a salesperson should no longer come with the stigma of being a snake oil salesman. Now, you'll find them there. You will for sure find them there. But that's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about here is instead of thinking about yourself as a salesperson, you need to think about yourself as first and foremost, as an entertainer. Second, as a curator of a community and custodian of that community. And then third is you're going to offer something to sell, but if you've done well at entertaining and connecting with your community, then the sale is the easiest part.
And as long as you're honest and authentic and you're selling people what you're telling them you're selling them and you're not ripping people off, then it works.
So for those that are on the fence about this, and kind of what I alluded to earlier, is that there is something to be said for going and getting a Whatnot account today in a category that you're passionate about, going live, getting people in your room, finding something to give away. Could be small, could even be a sticker, right? But people will stick around even for a sticker, right? And begin building a community, just talking about what you love. You could talk about other channels on the platform. You can ask the chat, what have they purchased? What are the things that they like? You're essentially doing market research before you even start selling anything. And then you create a show. And the best thing on the app, especially Whatnot, is asking your community to bookmark a show you have in the future. If you went live every day for 2 hours, just talking about what you loved, and you had a show 2 weeks from now that was available for people to bookmark, and over the next 2 weeks, if you just got 10 people to bookmark that show a day, you'd have 140 people bookmark that show. Guess what's going to happen when you go live that first time? You're going to have a full room of people ready to buy what you have, talking to a community that you've curated and you already know how to entertain. That's the formula for getting started.
So obviously you came up with this idea to get into live selling, right? And we've talked about it a bunch, but why don't you explain why you have so much confidence in this space that you're willing to make it the next venture and spend all of your time, and we're all spending our time on it.
Yeah.
We've got multiple employees and team members and stuff. Why are you so confident in it that this is like the next thing?
For a bunch of reasons. Like, I'm confident that this is the next big thing, or I'm confident that this is the next thing and a good use of my time for several reasons. One, I've already seen it work for my son, who was live selling from his room on TikTok before TikTok Shop was even a thing. So pre-TikTok Shop, he was selling. And then once TikTok Shop became a thing, he was one of the first to have a shop on TikTok and go live sell on TikTok. During the pandemic, my daughter and I went live in Facebook groups selling Lego at scale, right, twice a week, right, with multicams set up. During the pandemic, you and I did a live selling event to hundreds of people several times, and it was entertaining, it was community-based, and at the end, we had something to sell.
And fun.
Ridiculously fun. So, and that was before really the maturity and wider adoption from buyers on the live selling side. Now, the platforms, right, like Whatnot, existed before TikTok Shop existed. Okay. And way before eBay Live and all of the other new ones that are coming out now. And I believe, based on our experience and technical know-how, which was a part of this, which was like, we have the experience, we have the technical aptitude to spin this up, we have the confidence to do it, and, you know, we have the right people, kind of the right team to make it happen. Like, all of that was really important. These are kind of the unfair advantages, I think, that we came to the table with. But more than anything else, I believe that you can go from the ideation of creating a brand and selling that product to a consumer on live shopping faster now than any time in the history of the world. Right? You and I, tomorrow, can ideate about creating a soap brand, start talking about it, and in 3 weeks have a product in hand that we could sell on live shopping. There has never been a time in history where you can go from product ideation to sale as fast as you can do it right now. And someone might say, well, there's a bajillion soap brands. Why do you want to create soap? And I would say, yeah, anyone can create soap, but can anyone build a community of people around their idea and have a group of enthusiasts be part of your community and cheer you on and help you choose the design and help you choose the colors and help you choose the scents and help you choose the sizes? And then you take all of their feedback and now you deliver what you've been talking to them about for the last 3 weeks. You could do that faster now with live social communities and community commerce than anyone has ever been able to do in the past. You can go and create a soap brand and set up a Shopify store and run Facebook ads and try to sell your stuff. But I'll tell you right now, I would put that guy up against the guy that's going to do it with Whatnot or TikTok Shop, and my money would be on Whatnot and TikTok Shop guy every single time. So that's why I'm bullish on this, right? We here at Live Buys are spending time learning and perfecting these platforms so we can create those brands. And guess what? Those brands that we create are going to be spun off and become their own big companies. Like that's what this is becoming. You can launch and scale like crazy with live shopping and then do all the other stuff and then turn on your Shopify store and then get your stuff on Amazon and then run your social media ads and then get influencers to talk about your stuff. But you don't need to do any of that right now. The only thing you need to do right now is build a community, and the fastest way to do it is on places like Whatnot. Thanks for hanging out. If you want more banter like this in the future, hang out with me, hang out with Joe and Brandy and any other guests that we have. If you want to hang out with us here on Seller Stories, we could talk with you remotely. We could talk with you here at Live Buys HQ. Drop us a line at info@livebuys.com.